This conference will now be recorded.
I'd like to call the July meeting of the Harbor Advisory Commission to order. And we'll
Rutherford.
Here.
Mo.
Here.
Lewis.
Here.
Costello.
Here.
Labar.
Here.
Wilson.
Here.
Luther.
Here.
Winterstein.
Here.
Wow.
Man.
That's pretty impressive.
Is there any modifications to the agenda?
I would like to, when Peggy shows up, if it's not right in the middle of some procedure, I'd like to at least give her the Brown Trout Festival report, because Elle's anniversary is today and we're the only
54 years I got it.
Well, Jeremy now is a fisherman too. I'm not going now. He always has been. So we'd like to hear her presentation if it's good.
Yeah, I gotta leave at 5.
He's got to leave at 5 no matter whether she shows up or not.
Okay.
Unless you want to call Kathy. I'm not calling.
No, I'm not.
No, I don't want to get in the middle of that.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I have a motion to modify the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? So we will do as modified as soon as Peggy shows up, if she shows up. You guys have had a chance to review the June 3rd meeting minutes?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to accept as presented. Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Harbor master report. We'll do that later. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Going into corrective actions. In this year's budget, I have $15,000 to do lighting upgrades at the marina. I have a proposal for what to do with that 15, but I would like for your guys' opinion on it.
You said $1,500?
15,000.
15,000.
Yeah.
So I thought it was 15. That's what I was worried about.
1,500 between one
not even
overhead change. Along, I know one of the biggest contenders is the ground poles that everybody loves to death out down there. One spot that we have them is along the harbor walkway there, the blue wall, I think you guys call it. And I'm proposing possibly submitting for a community, Northeast Michigan Community Foundation grant to use and leverage that 15,000 against another 5,000 for them.
Okay.
And change out those ground poles with bollards,
That'd be the low one.
the low ones. These are dark, what they consider dark skies shielded. So then they wouldn't shine up. So
They would light the sidewalk though.
they would light the sidewalk.
That would just be the break wall.
That would just be the break wall that would have those.
Question.
Yeah.
And will there be an analysis of those lights and poles, maybe swap out the other poles that are really awful along
Once it
the
keep getting
road?
backed over.
Yes.
That was the plan.
Yes, that was kind of my plan is, okay, we'll take the best of the best off the break wall and change out the worst of the worst in Prentice.
Okay.
That's about $100 switch there, so I think we can maybe pull that off. I don't know your guys' opinion, if you want to try to pursue this, or if you want to try to pursue something else with that 15,000, which could be just about anything.
Specifically though, on the break walls.
On the break wall, there's 25 lights on the break wall right now, and I would like to take a look at possibly changing those 25 out to these bollards.
So those are only 32 inches high then?
They are.
Yeah.
They'd be about the height of that railing, and the hope is,
So it's a 1-for-1.
yes.
Yeah.
There's no wiring, nothing like that. The only problem we have right now is with their 5 and our 15, that's just the price of the bollards.
So there's
22.
22, well, yeah, 22.
So the initial thought is I would do a multi-year contract. We can't do that project until after September 15th if we do it. If we get the grant from them. We couldn't do it until after September 15th because we can't extend money until after September 15th. And then the following budget year, we would finish finish that up. We kind of be strategic about how we did it, where we could switch stuff out.
Is that a specific grant, that type of match? Or I'm just thinking out loud now, why not go for a match, 15-15?
Because that's the max is the 5,000.
Oh, it is,
It
okay.
is the max.
So what's existing there? Are they metal halide? Are they, what, what the ball?
1980s, whatever.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then, and the new bollards that you're planning on, are they LED?
High
Are they,
efficiency LED.
okay, because there's gotta be money out there for that.
I kind of scoured around for Michigan. I did two things, Michigan LED money and also Michigan Dark Skies money. Trying to find one or the other and could not find any.
Did you go directly to Alpena Power?
I did not, because we can write that. I know what you're saying is we can write for that reimbursement on that
Correct.
to change those out.
Right.
And that will, I did not think of that until you said that we can possibly, let me take a look and
I've
see
done
how
a
much
bunch
that
of it
is.
with the ring, so they're really good about it.
They'll come in and basically write the reimbursement for you.
And I'm surprised Kendall didn't say it actually, because they basically did it for me the last time.
Thank you for bringing that up, because I didn't even think of that with Alpena Power.
Are all of the, the brown poles as you described them, are they all junk? Or I'm thinking, we used to do a lot of electrostatic painting of things and they turn out great.
They do, but the wiring is kind of starting.
Well, you'd have to
Yeah,
refab them. I mean, that's.
correct. And we will actually, our co-ops will sometimes go out and paint them, which is, it's on the list. If you looked at critical issues, there was one there for painting poles. So I think if we took down the ones from the break wall, we pick the best of the best there, replace the worst of the worst on Prentice Street. And before we put them up, we would actually paint them black.
So I have a question about
Sure.
those, and I guess so that, yeah. So they're gonna draw bugs and now they're gonna be right down where you are.
Yep, drawing bugs.
Although, I mean, certain times of the evening you walk out there and you just go through swarms of them.
No,
Is there a color that you're looking for, or are they just thinking blue, black?
Yeah, I don't know what. See, this year was the strongest fish fly hatch in the
Yeah,
entire
usually
state of
kept-
Michigan.
got happening every other night.
Seriously.
Bugs, period, were bad last
Wow.
Were they little guys or-
Oh,
Not
Yeah,
just
I mean,
them, but the midges,
hard to
yeah,
believe
but the fish flies, all Lake St. Clair said it was the greatest. I mean, they're not happy about it. All those-
right there is the color options on these, the dark brown, the graphite, they're pretty standard.
Is there one that you're thinking just go?
I don't know about you guys, but in my feeling is the 80s called and asked for their blue back out there at the marina. So I'd like to get away from some of that blue a little bit.
Yeah.
Possibly repaint that railing to city standard black. I don't know if you guys agree with that or not. It's one of those things we'll bring up during Harbor Advisory.
Is blue on all the break wall? I'm trying to think of Presqu'île, whether that's blue up there or not.
It's-
Is it blue?
I can't remember.
So I don't know if you guys would like the blue.
The only thing about the blue is it does represent water, if you will.
Okay.
It does the voting.
In case you forget that you need the water.
Yeah.
I mean, I think either way with the black or blue, it's, I don't know.
They need to be painted. that's-
Yeah, I think the repainting is the important part to it, whether it goes black or blue, I guess is, at least in
Well,
my
we
opinion,
could
it's
go
gonna
to
be
a
a call.
darker, even a darker blue possibly out there.
Yeah.
Like a navy.
Yeah, Navy, yeah.
A nice navy color or something like that out there, and then you could look at possibly putting either the white or the graphite bollards out there to kind of offset it.
Right, when halfway over white.
Okay, yellowish, pinkish, or orange are the least attractive to insects.
Yellowish, pinkish, or orange.
The ones that, the bright white or bluish lights are the most attractive.
Bright white or what?
Blue, blush light, excuse me, I'm sorry. Flush.
So lighting.
Or you're talking about the color
Of the light.
color temperature of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we could look at that then as far as the color temperatures and stuff like that and ask for something that is
Yeah.
less.
You sure don't want red
Boogish.
lights either, say that they don't attract them, they'll have everybody piling in.
The 5,000 K is obviously gonna be really bright, so they're gonna.
Yeah.
probably-
Well, and that's, I can't remember, we agreed to a limit for how bright we would make lights in the city, to satisfy some,
Yeah, so it's not like you need it bright, you just, it's a safety.
I needed to cover. Right. I can tell you that if, one thing that we are still kind of checking on this is that we've got enough spread with the distance between the bollards and everything else, and we're covering everything. It may not be bright as you are standing next to a bollard, but you're not gonna even get that poles that are up in the air.
Yeah.
So we are definitely gonna make certain that it's safe out there. There's one thing I strive for is that everything is lit.
Are they then similar to M32 corridor, bike path?
These are narrower because we only have 6 inches of space between those railings. Most bollards are 8. And then these are shielded so they shine more down and out and not up and in to your base.
And so are they down and out, or are they only one direction though, I guess? Do they only face the path?
Yes,
Okay.
we would shield them so they only face the path. Because doesn't that mess with you guys when you're boating? If the lights are shining on the water?
Indirect, more indirect.
No, so that's part of it, is they're shielded to the pathway and the pathway.
Are they just, I mean, my personal opinion with the Ballard, at least the color of the structure itself, just, yeah, go black. And then figure out what to do with the rail. We keep it the blue, change it to blue, change it to black, or what have you.
And that's things we can make a decision on if we get the grant. I mean, a lot of this right now is pending on rolling the dice and seeing if we can pull off a community impact grant through community foundations.
Even
And
as,
that's 22, probably 2022, before it happens.
Not necessarily, because I would think that you could change out those bollards in the
Oh,
fall.
yeah.
So long as I start, I can have it bid out and everything ready to roll and just tell them in the documents, you shall not do any work until September 15th. And I wouldn't think it would take them more than a week to pull off old poles and put up new poles. The
Okay.
possibility of it happening this fall is realistic.
the Alpena Powers Efficiency United is who actually does that, and I think there's a link on their website, so if you grab that, and the good news is, being that they're old, the older they are, the better,
The better we
the
get.
more you upgrade, the better rebate you get on it, so
No, let
I
me
think
check
it'll probably be
that.
really big.
Let me check that then, because that could make us to the point where this is gonna work. And this is I asked Kendall Electric, I said, hey, what are our options? And this is what they could give me in 2 days. So we may have other options out there that are more cost effective than this. They're $900 a piece. Just the bollards. So there's a possibility there's something else out there, commercial grade, dark skies compliant, that we can use that's more cost effective. Just a matter of going and hunting them up, or hoping our contractor will go and hunt them up.
Do you envision, if we went with these on the break wall, that in future lighting projects, we would try to incorporate these Ballard styles in other locations?
We would be consistent wherever we went.
Okay.
That's, when we do this, we're gonna stay consistent
Yeah.
across everything.
So that would run down Prentice Street too?
Not necessarily down Prentice Street. I think we would stay to higher
Higher ones, yeah.
ones down Prentice Street, but we would coordinate whatever color we did on the break wall, we would coordinate to those also. I know there's a push to kind of stay with the historical in the marina. But again, things that we will discuss during the master plan.
Okay.
But,
Well, I guess if you went to these on Prentice, is it an option for it to shine 360? Because we
Yes.
just had one backed into at the end of our dock the other day.
yeah, I was down there, and that was going on.
For whatever reason, that one has been knocked over like 5 times.
That's good to know.
Like
So-
outside Cabin Creek, they popped the big.
So I guess I'm curious if you guys think this is worth pursuing.
I like the bottle.
Yeah.
bottle idea.
Yeah, I like it too. Yeah, especially for the break wall, I think it's worth
That
pursuing.
was great, yeah.
Okay, can I get a motion possibly for us to pursue that grant? And
I'd move that we pursue that grant
Second.
to establish mallard lighting on the brick wall.
all in favor? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Perfect. On
Before we leave
to,
the lighting,
what?
are the lights all fixed out the harbor and what was the repair?
So this is a good story. Did I tell you that we were confused that Prentice Street was part of the harbor?
No,
Oh, they're independent, okay.
Yes. Our contractor, Motorview Electric, did not realize that when I was calling down saying, hey, the marina lights aren't working, the marina lights aren't working, the marina lights aren't working, and the guys were going down turning the lights, going, Shannon, you're going insane, every light in the marina was working, that we meant the lights on Prentice Street. So, when they called me, or she called me back one day and said, the guys were just down there and every light is working, we don't understand what the problem is. And I'm like, okay, because I've got pictures of the lights off on Prentice Street. And she's like, what do you mean on Prentice Street? So they went down the next day and started looking. This last year when the water was high, it filled all of the ground boxes full of water. And that's what was shorting us out. So we got that all cleaned up, taken care of, everything else. Now, are the lights working down there? Because I've not been here early enough to see.
I haven't really been down there much.
They were, Prentice was on last night when I came back.
Okay, good. So that was what was going on, is between me not telling her that they were the Prentice Street Harbor lights and her, and then the boxes being full of water and stuff. Froze last winter when we were having issues. That was a lot of last winter's problems and everything else. At that point in time, they did get them working.
So we're back to every light that can be on is on. Or-
That is my understanding, is a real light. And again, that's why I
So
was
those were
asking.
the
if you-
Prentice Street ones, where the break wall ones are on that same.
Yes.
I don't know though, that's what I was trying to think, if the break wall lights were on last night.
Okay, because there's ground boxes that kind of bounce up along, so if there's a short in that ground box going out.
Yes, and,
So I'm typically not in town at that
so we need to
time.
pay attention.
Well, we're on check.
If somebody's there down there at 10 o'clock and can let me know.
Yeah.
Before I was getting in at, when I come in at 6, I see them, and at 6 o'clock, it's light right now,
Yeah.
so the lights are off.
Check it out for you.
On the lighting topic, just to throw another hand grenade out there, how about lighted buoys? And I know it's nothing to do with the city, but,
I forgot to call on that, Alan, I'm sorry.
no, it's all right. I just, Jeremy and I were just talking, coming in way late.
You must
Yeah.
have heard my wife last night.
Oh, you fuck her up every time. I don't care who you are. I mean, believe your GPS or not.
Walleye Club can't ask me
Been about half
walleye
hour.
on 'em.
Which light?
Channel.
Well, into the channel.
The channel markers, but then I think Noah has 2 buoys that are there, but there's no light on them. Or
Yes, the two
Rec
wrecks.
buoys.
that are right on the corner of the break wall. And actually, one might just be a pile of rock.
I don't think they
No,
do.
I think those are both right.
They're supposed to have, I
I
don't know
don't
if
think
they're.
there's a strobe on them. There should.
So,
Okay.
So
Let
those
me-
are the Noah ones?
Yeah, I could, well, the other thing is, let me bring up, we went through all this about 5 or 6 years ago, because you gotta approach the Coast Guard. And that's real fun, because then you gotta, as far as, that's the way it's set up, we're not changing kind of things. Those are the way the buoys are supposed to be lit. We've got them lit on those types of buoys. The rest of the buoys, the people are supposed to know what they are.
Well, and
And that's, because it wasn't just, because I know the Walleye Club went through it separately, but then we had a committee, well, not this committee, but a committee from the community. And I think Steve was, Fletcher was part of it at the time, just asking about, and then we had the commandant of the Detroit, it's the Detroit, the US Coast Guard in
Cleveland is
Detroit.
where they're
Yeah.
sending me
Yeah,
next.
wherever they're at. He's the one that, and you gotta fill out the paperwork and stuff, and then they don't, now they put smaller ones instead of bigger ones. Because that last one, The last green can is terrible now,
So when
somebody's
it's,
gonna run over
that
that.
one that's summer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
can't barely out of the
Yeah.
Like that.
I mean, not no offense, but even you guys have might run over it. The walleye guys definitely are gonna run over it. 60 miles an hour coming in. I mean, that's gonna happen.
I was at a meeting in Snoon and, with the Friends of the Sanctuary, and the Coast Guard had been in up at Presque Isle with about 130-foot buoy tender, and they had an exercise that lasted for like 7 days. They lived on the boat and all that stuff. There's about 30 or 40 people on the vessel. You know, I think we ought to turn up the heat a little bit on that. And I think we can do that through probably Jeff Gray, who's tight with them. I mean, he was with them for a week. And I just think that's an opportunity, because
As far as them.
nobody likes it coming in. I don't care who you are.
No, doesn't matter who that.
I mean, you pucker up coming in there.
I mean, that's
You
what I've been
dial
dialing
in
for
here.
years and,
Dial in your GPS and I'm telling you,
I
it's
mean,
not good.
You know, I apologize because.
No, that's all right. I didn't need to.
The Coast Guard
Put you
should
on
have
the spot.
that right. Then the channel marker should be appropriate.
I think they're actually.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta-
Executed. Well, they are, I believe, from years ago.
Yeah, I think they're
That's
accurate.
nice.
Be nice to even if
One or
every
two
other one or
lights
something coming in.
Well, especially now you can put LEDs and solar.
Oh, yeah.
and everything, So I would think that there's possibilities. I would think before it was really expensive and now.
No, I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I was just the one that came up.
That does remind me
yeah,
though,
that's
too,
been around for years.
Yeah.
coming in last night, so the starboard side or green side coming into the harbor on the bridge. So it'd be your left-hand side coming into the harbor. The bridge light is out
Okay.
on that side.
On the point,
On the bridge,
pier.
Second Avenue.
On the pier, or on the Second Avenue Bridge. Because I usually come across waiting to see all three of you coming into the
Yeah.
two
Because then you
centers
said,
on the
yeah.
port side.
Yeah, I can call Thunder Bay Electric about that one. I know at one time we had one completely off of there, but I thought they had it working again.
Yeah, it had been, I think it was the last time I came in, but it was,
So it's just a ball.
it's recent probably, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Not a problem. Anything else on lights? Then we will prioritize that group and see what we can pull off. If for some reason we don't get that grant or we can't get the funding or whatever, we'll come back and explore where you want to go from there with that 15, as far as changing stuff out down there. Boaters Lounge. I did talk to a couple of you about this. Wondering if you guys would be consider possibly adopting that, or some of the boaters down there would consider adopting that and helping to refurbish that a little bit.
So right now, every person who comes in gets a key, or who gets a key?
That is a really good question. I thought it was the same keys as the restroom. I thought they were keyed the same.
Don't know, I wouldn't.
I don't know, because the restroom keys say, women and men are camped on, so I don't know if those keys work, and nobody's ever told us.
Right, and that's, okay, so that's one thing we'll try to figure out, but that's, again, that one there is gonna go to the same code as the lock, I think it's spring.
Okay.
Women's key and a men's key.
Okay.
Keys.
I mean, if you're probably person, I'd be happy to
Yeah.
volunteer the time, whatever needs to be done, maybe, or what have you, but I don't know if the yacht club or the walleye or I like that would be interested as an organization to join that, but
Well,
me personally, I'd be happy to help out.
what I had down besides just them was a local club, I don't know, like the Kiwanis or Zana or somebody like,
Or Rotary.
yeah, one of, like,
I
the
know.
Zana, anymore, I don't know if it's male and female, but the Zanas would probably have a little more decorating ability than the Rotary.
Well,
No
and some
offense
of
to
it-
I think you got it.
No, I'm just thinking of somebody that, with flowers and that.
That's what we just wanna make it a little bit
Yeah.
more
Big class
inviting.
green.
Yeah.
I haven't even been in, so I.
I don't even know there's a lounge anymore. It's
It's Blake Slade is more or less your sink drain.
Yeah,
But the adjacent bathroom, just find out where the plumbing comes in and
maybe,
where it drains available. That's your biggest, you can run a water line from any.
or we can get a water line
So there's
in,
no
but I
water.
don't know what.
There's no water?
There's no water in the voters lounge right now.
But the bathrooms are right adjacent to it. So
Yeah,
water's
bathrooms.
there. Sink drain would be the biggest thing. You don't want to cut up the floor.
I guess I'd be willing to walk over there, just take a look at it, just see what we think the basic need is, just get started.
I'm just thinking out loud now, how would any of us use it? I mean, what would be our opinion?
Well, I might use it.
Cheaper than the aqua, probably.
Yeah.
I think it's more for the
Yeah, I think the goal of that would be, it's us as the community taking a pride in a place that visitors are mostly
Right,
using
right. No, I
for it,
agree.
because I mean, I haven't been in there either, and I don't think I'll ever plan on using it much, but if a boater comes in visiting and see it's clean, usable,
Clean, it's gotta be a.
and there's some,
There's not even a TV in there right now. Actually, if you go downstairs behind the reception desk, there's a great big TV there, and I was told that it needs to go away, and I know the perfect spot for it to go away to.
Well, it wouldn't take much money to jazz it up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think we first gotta take a look at it, just eyeball it, just, you know.
Yeah, well, two things. One, the Convention and Visitors Bureau used to have a packet.
Right.
Okay, and when the voters came in, Rich and Mike actually gave it to them, and that went by the wayside. I have no idea why that's not still there. The other thing is the state of Michigan actually has a dock to harbor now, where last year, Prescott, I think 2 or 3 boaters came in and they got free dockage for those 2 weeks, and they jazzed up the whole marina. So
Right.
they planted flowers. They met everybody that came in. They had a little packet from the state of Michigan, it was pure Michigan
But
kind of stuff.
talking a lot more than just flowers and painting.
Yeah,
We talked
that's
about
what,
putting like a
yeah,
kitchenette in there.
yeah, they had like coupons, for like, at that time, I think it was Ride the City,
Which
but with us having all.
I mean, like, just like what you're talking about, I think, right? Because if you come off your boat and there's a stove in there.
Right.
Microwave and.
Microwave and a TV and
I was
whatever to get off your boat so you have more space.
If
and
we
might
had
need
some
to-
sort of budget, then we could, I could figure out cabinetry and countertops. and things like that.
I mean, and
You would need
that's
one.
right now, I'm wondering if we can find a way to fund it. That's probably the biggest thing.
It's labor wise, it's not gonna be much. I mean, running the utilities would be the biggest.
What, running the utilities is gonna be huge.
Installing
and then-
cabinets, countertops, it's.
Well, security issues with, when do you shut it down, when do you open it up,
They'd just get shut down and opened up, I think, with
by
the
the police
restrooms.
or city police or whatever.
Yeah. Well, and again, if it's coded, then
you're done.
The city police will just go in there and sit.
they may,
Good, bad.
they can have break in there, honestly, let them.
Why not? So Rich has a key? Is that where he-
Yes, Rich has a key, I have a key. If you guys wanna get in there sometime, we can.
Somebody else, I've seen people.
I'm
in
sure
there,
you can
so-
just walk up to the dock. and be like,
Yeah, the dock hands can get you in, I
Yeah,
believe they have
And
keys.
maybe they unlock it.
I don't know how
It's
that.
not right now.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause it was locked when I went there earlier today.
The whole key
We
pin,
kind of
that's
are.
where it's all at.
Tell Donna to turn his key in.
Yep, we'll get, that's just it doing, I got all of John's keys. I can get you in there at any time if you guys get a hold of me. I'm here from about 6:30 in the morning until 6:30 at night, most nights, so.
Good.
All right.
That's great, yeah.
Get a hold of me,
I'll
I
check
can
it
be down there.
I think
I
that's an
believe
opportunity.
Steve Fletcher also has a key because the kids use
Right,
it on Tuesdays and Thursdays for sailing.
Because they had party, I know the kids had like whatever.
And again, maybe that group right there.
Not
is
that, those
one
kind of kids. but they-
that we approach to help out, because I think even right now, a coat of paint and some new flooring would go a long ways in there.
Do we know if that space could, I guess, this is me pipeline dreaming of it, but could that space with the TV and everything be turned into a space that the youth sailing group could use for training? Like if it's visual
They are
training,
right now.
are they already? Okay, so that's fine.
Yeah, they're already.
Yeah. So I guess clean it up so that they can facilitate that better.
Yeah, it's not real big, but
Yeah.
Yeah, they use it.
Yep, that's what they're using right now, is that's where they're meeting their stuff right now.
Okay.
Is there a pop machine right outside?
There is.
Does that work?
Yes.
Sometimes.
Sometimes,
like
if
a
it's
little-
not, get a hold of me, because I can call Brandon at Pepsi and get it working.
I think
I'd like to
it's
try to get the electric on the other side of the wall.
It's not the nicest looking pop machine.
No, it's not, we're gonna have a conversation about that too, but right now I'm just excited we have a pouch. But that's, that's what I'm trying to gear towards, is us getting to the point where we've got It'd be really nice to just have a really nice inviting spot.
Yeah.
for people.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
If it's there, why not?
Do you think, like, if we had like pride in our marina kind of thing, like committee, do you think you'd get any volunteers
Yes.
or something like that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you could. I mean, it had to be, imagine there's people that would want to volunteer to help out with
I
that.
mean,
Well,
that's all, just
Yeah.
something like that. I mean, we got pride and everything else. I mean, type, committees like when we have that. 'Cause I mean,
Media gonna
that's
do
what we're trying
something, is media gonna do something with,
yes.
so there's
Um,
something coming.
Right after the 4th of July, I had to meet with Steve yeah.
Because I think, the whole discussion about a three-sided community, I think we gotta talk force. I mean, I think there's opportunity
And that's one
to
of
spring
the,
that out.
was one of the things I'm gonna start pushing. That's also the time when the marina survey is going to drop.
Good,
Is when
okay.
I do that interview with him. He's promised possibly like that Saturday section of the paper, possibly for that. He's aware of what's going on. He asked me to do it before the 4th of July, and I have to get Oliver Street done before I can have an intelligent conversation with him in the paper. So that's kind of, I'm trying to get through that road project, and then I can focus on getting that marina stuff done.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Anything else on the voters launch?
More just in general question to mainly you two with the Yingling Nationals coming. Is there any like small project volunteer kind of like the Boater Lounge project that you think would be a nice thing to get done, whether it's painting here, well, I know the marina buildings need some kind of love and care, but is there anything that you think would be a good volunteer project that we could try to organize as the committee before the Nationals happen to kind of get things
Power
going?
wash those docks.
I'm just wondering, because
The people from out of town are gonna dump over by where we are.
Okay. and the
Over on the
floaters,
transit.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
so,
yeah, I'm sure that's.
Right, so if those were clean, that would be better.
Okay. Is that something?
Nobody was down at the marina today, were they?
Oh, were
Oh,
they?
they did. There was power washing done?
Tell Kathy
Our washing done
congratulations.
today at the marina.
I'd say 54 more, but.
Yeah, right.
Congratulations.
There you go.
Congratulations. Thank you.
54 years, that's right. Well,
That's quite an accomplishment.
that's right. Nowadays.
So is there anything else that you think needs to be?
Well, and I don't,
can't
we
think of
didn't
anything
get out
offhand,
on the
but we'll think
docks.
about it, yeah.
I'm just wondering if there's like, if it's just a matter of going out and cleaning up something that, I'm just trying to think, because I know those events are kind of a good excuse to
Big day.
show off.
So
Docks are good.
there was power washing, but
There-
not the
Not
docks.
on the docks.
Okay.
themselves.
Oh,
So the
oh,
docks
oh.
can still be done. Today we went down and we steam cleaned the fish cleaning station. How's that sound?
Sounds like a good plan. That's heavily used, I gotta be.
Yes, we had some
Oh, yeah.
complaints earlier in the week, and Jason and I were standing there this morning, and he's like, hey, we ran out of chips, so why don't we clean the fish cleaning station? And he went down and got that, they were working on it, this afternoon.
It's,
Many years.
it's actually, the hoses, the improvements, the things that you've done, but it are good, but it's pretty dirty.
It's extremely,
Hard.
so I was disgusted regularly, and I was trying to get us to the point.
I'm not here anymore. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, this afternoon, I didn't know if any of you went down there, I was waiting for somebody to comment, we did some steam cleaning. He did the sidewalks out front, so as you're walking up to the fish cleaning station, those are power washed off.
Well, so that's it, because people
Yeah.
will be walking through
Yeah.
there.
Well, and all those plants, all those shrubs you were talking about yesterday or so, and the Boater Launch, everything, those will be in by the time Nationals come, so at least,
I hope
or
so,
hopefully, in theory, maybe.
yes. I
But
have
at
to
least
get
it's
up with
nicer than it
the
was
grass.
before,
Yeah, it looks.
so that'll look
like it's
nice when
out there.
all those people run the race.
Yes, no, that's, and I'm hoping just the improvement with, even if you are seeing the plant, at least it's cleaner than it was,
Yeah.
it's picked up, I don't know.
Looks
If,
nice.
what your guys' opinion is, of what we did there alone.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know.
I mean, that's 100% better, 200 maybe, better.
And that's, so I mean, those plants, July 1st is our drop, this is our new money year, so now I can ask for, I've got the shrubs that are already bid, I can go ahead and ask for them and stuff like that. So, I gotta call GPI and see if I can beg some more chips from them. We used up every chip that they gave us, you know, I don't know if you guys follow us on Facebook, but they gave us like 25 yards of chips and I used every one of them. So I need about 75 more.
It's good, it's getting better down there, that's for sure.
So you guys had talked here about this Marina Pride. Is that something that you guys want to kind of put out feelers to all your groups and to see if that's something that people would be interested in forming that committee?
Yeah.
Okay, why don't we take a look at that and put it on the next agenda?
Okay.
As far as doing that. Anything else on the corrective action?
With the, I guess, because you mentioned locks and now talking about the fish cleaning station, possibly to, I know I had talked to you or mentioned, you know, now you're steam cleaning it, there's an expense there, and it's a big one. And a lot of the people that use the harbor don't use it. I don't, I guess I don't want to be the bad guy. I use it a lot. But locks, there's a simple, I have a thing on my phone, I have it at the rink. Another person that I store my boat with has it at his place of business. I can walk into his building at any time of the day or night, and he knows that I did. I think the same thing could be done there possibly, and a fee be paid for that option every year, because I know that there's,
Was it like a QR code or something?
it's just through Bluetooth. You're loaded
It's
in.
actually, I believe, probably those same locks we're looking at.
Yeah.
So it would be
Frank's
40.
key and locks, all of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because also I know, and it's great, there's a lot of people that use the fish cleaning station that don't launch their boat in the harbor, that don't have a boat in the harbor. And that's fine. I mean, it's part of the city's and the community's deal, but it is, like I say, it's a big expense. So possibly looking at doing something like that would just be my opinion.
What do you think of that?
Well, we threatened them before on that, okay, because it was, basically, that was the same deal. The community came together, you know, and all the construction guys were going gung ho, and basically it was free.
Okay.
I mean, everything was pretty much donated, you know,
That was my concern, is there's no grant dollars.
at that time, and the big deal was like when they were smashing, you know, because I was a culprit that shortened the hoses, because we got sick and tired of everybody breaking the ends of them off, you know, slamming the boards down. You know, we know, you know, they could say what you want, but I know who did it. But anyways, so, you know, I was the, you know, basically the jerk that shortened everything so they couldn't break them anymore, and they saved about probably 50 tips last summer. Now this year, I don't know how many they broke, but it looks like it's been real good so far. So,
We haven't broke any.
or broke up.
Well, they're heavier and
That's what I looked at it, is they'll take a little abuse for those other little
Yeah,
sprayers.
yeah, those were terrible. I don't, you know, that was like, but anyways, so that's that, you know, and then we did, you know, we've done our own painting before. And I, you know, like Ann, I don't know, you know, I was thinking about like Ann with the murals and that, maybe we want a mural on the side of that building.
We talked about that. One thing we are hoping to do, and I gotta get with her because of Fresh Waves, when those muralists were down there. We actually want to take the winter covers and have the kids paint them
Sure.
with things.
And here would be another idea. We'd actually have fishes of the Great Lakes on. No offense to some of the others that we've got, you know, because we get, you know, art for art's sake, and we get some, you know, and no offense to that either. But, you know,
How often does the fish cleaning station need to be cleaned? I mean, is there somebody cleaning it all the time, or how does that work?
Yeah, isn't he sending people over there? I don't know how good
Yeah,
they're doing.
Rich
but
sends people over to clean it out every day. But you gotta realize there's that
Yeah.
slimy oil that goes in the fish.
Right, that just doesn't.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're sweeping it out, they're spraying it down a little bit, but you're not getting rid of that really deep, grimy
Yeah, because
oil.
basically it's state of the, I mean, actually it's still state of the art cleaning station. I mean, that's, you know, people here don't realize how good they have it till they go
Really nice.
every place else. I mean, but, and the other thing is you're correct, you know, it gets clean, but it could be dirty in half an hour after.
And that's what
It's usage oriented.
Well, and that's what I'm hoping is if we steam clean it a couple times a year, it's on the, there's like a wants, a needs, and a wish list that we have right now down at the marina. A wish list right now is our own steam cleaner. Power washer, because there is a lot of power washing that can happen down there just about every day. There's a lot of, you know, and Jason said we need to get a steam. It's gotta have steam. And stuff out.
Dwell on that, but we used to have to just take our own power washers and wash.
Yeah. Well, and I'm not gonna tell you that didn't happen.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
Well, good.
So those are kind of the things that, you know, and that's, we're gonna kind of keep an eye on it now, because I mean, we're talking about how many years of grime on that fish cleaning station. We'll see how long before we have to do something with it again.
So I think we painted it 2 years ago.
You did. I think so. I think I have receipts from that. I've dug through our budget. I don't know how many times.
Either
so.
2 or 3, because the way time goes.
And that's, I've, like the signage in there, I'm a little discouraged with, so I've ordered new signs. And, hopefully they're coming. I gotta get hold of DPW, but they have been full focused on the 4th of July. So we, I'll get with them afterwards. The DPW orders the signs for me. And we're gonna change out all the signage. I'm gonna pull all that old signage out. I've got 2 brand new signs that have basically the rules and how to run the station, and we'll put those on the wall.
Because that was the other big deal, because when we walk in, we always turn the grinders on. I mean, I even turn them on when somebody else is cleaning them if they don't have them on. It doesn't bother. I mean, they can confront me, I don't care, but I just say.
But I mean, that's how we
Yeah.
don't have.
Oh, it's noisy. Well, the reason that it's noisy, it's supposed to be noisy
Working.
because you want to, yeah.
Better than the other option when you go to turn it on and it doesn't turn on because it's just been loaded and loaded and loaded.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's been pretty good this year. It hasn't been too many yet.
No, yeah, don't catfish it. Anything else for critical issues? Okay. Master plan. Get back with us, live and in person. First thing we're gonna talk about is, did everybody see this Charette agenda? So taking a look at that, is there anything you want to explain on that?
No, not really. I just kind of put together an overall agenda, with the main goal being breaking the key stakeholders out into kind of roundtable group sessions. So that way they feel a little more engaged in the master plan process.
One of those days I can't pull it up on the screen today, so I apologize. So this is kind of the rules of it. Speakers, presenters, I don't think we're gonna do that here. I'm hoping at some point in time for the Miss Brooks from Waterways. She is from Boyne and hoping she will be able to possibly come over and speak to us at some point in time as a committee about harbors and what waterways can do and things like that. So I know at some point in time, I'm hoping she can really possibly come over and talk to us as far as that. Any questions on the charrette? I asked for a favor.
And I forgot to ask. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a matter of, this will be an evening thing, right? So just have to pick the right date, and we have another meeting coming up, so.
Okay, if we can figure that out, because I don't know, I'd like to, while boaters are still around, because I mean, we have snowbirds that leave and stuff like that, I'd like to get this meeting done possibly in August.
Okay. So do we have dates so you can present dates at the meeting, at the next meeting?
Date
I have no dates idea because you guys basically all need to be
It's
there.
like Monday, we talked about a Monday night.
We did talk about Monday nights.
So I feel like we can agree on a date that'll help you.
So Mondays, then I don't think there's anything else going on.
Mondays are open.
Yeah. Say, okay, want a date? Yeah. And
So that's the
so
second.
I think
and
all
then
we need is to
16th,
have a few
23rd,
yacht club
30th.
members there and it should be.
Well,
It'll be free.
So we get a few more.
How
I'm
about,
saying at least three.
Get the whole England group there.
I will be gone the 30th of August. Will be
I just
on my
wanted to-
honeymoon, so.
how about, the 16th?
I'll be gone 25 of the 39th of August. If I don't get blown off, I'm so booked. it sounds like.
Really? That's great.
But, yeah, I don't know if I got August or not. Let me see if I got it in here. I'm sorry.
Monday night?
I'll see, yeah. It's
It's your daughter's birthday.
Oh, I can't do that night.
I
Thank you. Pick our night.
Could do that. We could do the 9th.
Let's do
That's
the
right
9th.
After our regatta, but. We'll be happy and drunk.
So August 9th.
Yeah,
August 9th.
yeah. Good call on that, Shannon.
Wow, that would have been bad.
She could have come to the meeting.
Yeah, that's true. Good.
Stakeholder.
Hey, I got a great,
I got it.
yeah, I got a birthday present for you.
Okay, the 16th,
Night, we changed it.
I'm available.
You're available on the 9th, okay.
The 9th,
9th,
I'm available.
okay.
Ooh, the other ones, okay, I'm not. Okay, August 9th.
August
Okay,
9th.
I'll
Block it out in
even,
your calendar right now.
I'll even block that in for you guys, even though it costs me money.
What is a good time?
I don't know.
I can do anything afternoon. I'm pretty open.
Anything after 5 or 6 or something.
Do you want to, this is public getting.
It'll be public, because we'll be inviting as many stakeholders as we can.
So normally what, like 6:30 or 7 when we start, or, you know, not, probably not 6.
6:30.
6:30.
I'd say 6:30 makes sense, yeah.
How long do these usually last?
I was expecting to do probably 20 minutes at the max, 20 or, and then 20 to 45. So I think it'll be quick once we start it. And then we'll just rotate round tables with, 10, 15 minutes each. So
Okay.
probably about 45 minutes.
Okay.
We can kind of see how things go and how engaged people are as well.
6:30 to 8:30.
Yeah, 6:30 to 8:30 roughly.
Okay.
Okay. How's that work?
So do you, so I've been to some of these before, do they do, some kind of drink, like soft drinks or sometimes some people will have cookies or whatever?
We could do something like that, yeah.
I don't know if you were thinking that or not.
I was thinking basic refreshment
Yeah.
type thing, so we got a few dollars set in the
Alright.
budget for it, so.
Okay.
Wayne really wants his cookies.
Wayne really wants cookies.
I'd rather have a beer, but everybody can do
Well,
Let's keep that out of it.
I'm just gonna say, you guys are at the yacht club, that's why we're not doing it in a public building. You know.
We'll have a beer after.
After. You might want to drink after, who knows?
And then at this point in time, we're gonna be pushing out to the Walleye Club, the Steelhead Club, the Sailing Club. I'd like to see a lot of these sailors there if we can. I don't know if that's possible or not.
We can let them know. Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I'd like to see those groups there. I love to hear what kids think. You know, it's kind of a refreshing look at things because a lot of times kids see things that adults don't. You know,
We could probably release some representation.
and that's, you know, I'd like to see a little bit of that kind of a representation. I mean, obviously your sailing club, you guys will make certain that they're aware. It'll be in the paper, it'll be invited to the public, things like that, so. So basically you have a beginning that goes into this, he's gonna explain everything. Basically it's gonna be introducing us as the harbor people that are there. I'm just, you know, again, this is your committee, this is your $1 million baby we're trying to figure out, so the
No.
more involved you guys are with it.
Will Ann get invited?
Who?
Yeah, Gentry.
Yes.
And how about, well, Mary Beth, I don't even know, are they doing anything? I'm not,
Not, when I called them about
I'm not
stuff
being
this
smart,
year,
I haven't heard anything from the convention.
I will invite them. I have no problems sending out a lot of invitations for whoever you guys want to see there. And Jeffrey will definitely be there.
Somebody ought to be there.
I'd probably say that, yeah, like DDA, CVB, Target.
Yeah.
I would like to see somebody from NOAA if we can. I
Yeah.
don't know if you
Yeah,
guys
maybe,
have
yeah, maybe
connections
Jeff
there
from
where we can
NOAA,
possibly
maybe.
get NOAA.
I have a connection with
Yeah, we
them,
can do
so-
that.
Yeah, they'll probably just nominate Al to be here.
Yeah, they're probably just letting
text
them know.
them.
Yeah, I know I've been bugging Jeff about showing up to one of these. I
Yeah.
told him, especially with the master plans, I gotta imagine.
And
The ones that
especially if we're
someone should
showing them that we're doing this master plan.
Yeah,
hopefully people
I
will
can-
come.
Next time I have a meeting with them, I'll let them know.
Actually meet with Jeff tomorrow, so I
Oh,
can talk.
there you go.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
Okay, and that's, you know, is there other people that you guys are thinking? I'm thinking like Adam Pohl.
Yeah, Chamber.
Adam owes me a favor, so.
Is there anybody from Youth and Rec that would make sense to? Like
I don't know.
representative wise to, since they're kind of tied to the park system as well, in a sense. I don't know if that makes sense or not.
I don't know, what do you guys think on that one? We can invite them. I mean, it's more people down there making more input.
Well, Wallagora,
The council will all be invited.
okay, they will. Not just him.
No, especially if they are, you know, they're ultimately the ones that have to approve anything we do.
Yeah.
It's good to have them invited and involved. I'm certain Rachel will be there with us. She gets back Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, sometime. She's back here shortly and she's been super involved with all of this. As far as that's concerned. Anything else on the charrette? Any other questions on the charrette? Okay. As part of that, I am developing a user's questionnaire, which is going to be longer than that short one that we are sending out public-wise. And I just want a little bit of input from you guys on it as far as that's concerned. I broke the marina down into about 8 different locations. Kind of the Prentice Street docks, the fixed docks, transient docks, the courtesy docks and launch docks. And basically what I'm saying is, in that is saying, you know, tell us what you think of this. And I have like a very good average fare for, I think is how I've got it listed right now, and asking people their opinion of them, and then asking them what they think we need to do to them. Does that seem like it would be something that we would get some decent input from?
I think you will. I guess my limited experience of being at the marina, like some of those things, like, I mean, me personally, I'll take the time to go over to those locations and look at them a little bit more before I answer that questionnaire. But I guess for some of that stuff, like some of those facilities we don't use as much. But
Probably even if you just answer the section that
That
you're
you're
involved in,
familiar with,
would be okay too. I
Yeah.
think,
Yeah, you get that perspective on that one part.
What we could do is we could set it up in SurveyMonkey and break the map down into areas and rate those areas. And by rating those areas, you would have an idea of the condition that the public views them as they're in. And then other questions of like, is it sidewalks? Is it, and then when you would look through that, you would be able to break that down into the individual areas and say, okay, you know, we have the public really complaining or really focusing on this. What areas have this? Well, area of, you know.
Then you have a comment at the end, like, you know, they can put their comments.
Right, and that's, they'll have some wide open comment areas. Can we have it, do you use this area? We should probably include that question also, that is this an area that you use or utilize?
Makes sense to me.
Does that make sense? Because I mean, at that point in time, you can pull, SurveyMonkey will do it in such a way that it'll pull, okay, if you said that you use this area and you pull those comments forward. Because then if they're using them, you probably weight their responses more than you would somebody who's never used it.
Yeah.
So that could even be like in the ranking, do a 5-star ranking, do the 5-star for that area, and then I do not use this area. So that would pull
Okay. So then I will proceed on that. You guys will probably get a quick view of those. Again, I'm gonna be pushing out to all those groups that we just discussed here as far as, hey, fill this out for us. The more we push that, the more information we get back, the more beneficial it is to us. Because if you have 10 people fill it out, it really doesn't do us any good.
Is it, have we talked about putting signage for the survey, possibly at the beginning, apprentice and entrance into the?
We're gonna put it on every building as you get there. It's going to be, I'm trying to get a Merino list so I can actually mail it to every seasonal docker that we have. I'm going to give it to the sailing club, going to give it to walleye, going to give it to steelheaders, hoping that you guys can help me get it out to the charter captains, things like that. Going to put it at the launch docks so that it's getting, seen there possibly with a QR code to pull it up to it. It's going to be, right now I have it, it's about 13 pages long. That's the only bad thing with it, is it's a long survey because we're asking repetitively, broke down into 8 areas, what your opinion is and what we can do to fix.
I think people will skip the second if they don't want it.
Will they be able to skip or do they have to answer the question and go on?
The skipping could be an option, yeah.
I think, well, and do you use this area and you hit no, it just don't.
So I'll make sure they don't have to select something to go to the next screen because then it'll be worthless answers.
Yes.
Well, that's kind of getting to that point too, kind of the charrette and breaking the map out. We could do that as well during the charrette and in the user survey as well.
Yeah, because you sent me a map here of the.
What's a good response? What's the percent? I mean, it would be halfway. I mean, because I know it's not very high in a lot of them.
So the response rate?
Yeah, what would it be? Typically 5 to 10%, 20%?
Probably around 20%.
That'd be real good.
Of the users that we can offer. So again, the more we push these surveys, the better off we are. So that being said, to push them, do you think an incentive for people to do them would help?
Not really, at the end, you get put in a drawing to get a.
Yeah.
I guess
Free meals.
you'd have to be really slow.
Welcome to Alpena.
Free seasonal docking.
That might push
Yeah,
it.
well, for sure.
Yeah.
I know that 20 times. I guess my thought on the incentive is,
Yeah.
if you did an incentive, like just finding something that's not so much worth the time, but like it enters you into a drawing.
Yeah,
Like if we did that, then I don't know, just figuring out something that's,
to me, it was like, in my mind, it was like $100 Visa gift card.
Yeah.
Because then you can spend that wherever you want to, and if you're not a
Fill up your
local voter
boat
who
for
wins it.
or you give them that $10 and you force them to spend it.
Well, and that was the other thing I thought.
Fill up your boat for
I can tell you that was.
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody seems good with that stuff. So Peggy must not have thought,
Must not have got the memo.
or forgot, would be my guess. She was coming in to get a key, and I'm like, oh, she's gonna pick up the key before she comes to the meeting. Okay, so we will not worry about that one. Summer parking. We discussed this at one point in time, and I'd like to circle back around to it, is as far as people just parking their boats on the marina grounds, just to have a spot to park them. And you guys all pay big dollars to have seasonal slips down there. And they're just kind of parking their boats for nothing.
I didn't realize that was a thing.
Yeah.
And what?
Leaving it there for a week or overnight.
We're leaving there, coming and going all summer.
Yeah, I didn't even
Well,
realize
there's a lot of them that just leave them there, just to park them, have a spot to park them, and then they launch and take off, and then they hold them back up and park them again and leave them there, and.
There's all different
What?
categories.
Yeah.
But of course, they are coming on the.
Yeah. pull our boat with a for sale sign on it. You know, we've had, for years.
And years and years and years, we've had that issue, I mean. So I don't know your opinion on it. I guess I told everybody I would have a conversation with you guys as far as what your opinion was. As far as, do you think it's right for people just to be able to park their boats there and hang all summer? Or do you feel that we should be charging them for that parking space?
I mean, to me, I mean, if you get free parking, that's what that is. I mean, I feel like the least of it would be like, you want to park it in this space, you gotta pay for it. Maintenance cost.
A large cost, just something where they'd have to go into the office, get a slip to front of the dashboard or something, just.
And I'm not worried about you're pulling in there and hanging out, I think, and that's something we'd have to discuss is, are you good with somebody being parked there for a week? Are you good with somebody parking there all summer? You guys put your boats in and you're paying almost $1,400 and up.
Well, okay, like the Yingling's got, I mean, that's totally different, right? Or not? That's what I get.
Sailing school.
Huh?
That's trailer stuff, that's the sailing.
The
Okay.
sailing school is moving their stuff right now. He
Isn't
said
there
he was
one
getting his.
that's always pulled out though?
What's that?
Isn't there one that's always pulled out that's not selling?
Fletcher, but I think he pays.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
No,
He doesn't
he's
pay.
supposed to,
No.
'cause then it was like $100 or something to dry sail your boat.
my understanding is he's not paying. So that's one of them.
Because you
that-
draft.
Yeah.
I thought at one time that there was a fee for that, yeah. I could be wrong.
Yeah, there's no fee for
Everybody else
him
does.
just to park
Yeah.
there all summer.
It was his hoist, right? He built the hoist.
No.
You guys did that? You guys
That
did?
came from Hubbard Lake Dam.
Okay.
That's what it was.
I don't know where it came. You
That's-
guys, yeah.
Our group did that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but Steve says it's.
So I mean, that's the one that comes glaringly to mind right now. He Fletcher parks his boat there all year. You guys are paying. I don't even know how much, like I said, $1,400 up to park your boats, and he just casually puts his there and puts it in and out as he wants to. We've got other people who just park them there and because it's convenient, we'll just park it here at the marina and leave it.
Yeah.
Hang out.
Yeah, because you go any place, I mean, I've been looking when I've been traveling, and you go any other place and there's either a gated fence, and they, and even in the city marina, and they allow you in or out, or like, I mean, you go to Pata, and I'm not giving the west side, but you go there and there's no, in their city marinas, there's nothing there. There might be a trailer there
Did you have to
for
get a pass in Petoskey?
Huh?
Did you have to get a pass in Petoskey?
That's what I was gonna say. I mean,
Yeah,
You gotta ask.
Because I had to leave my car at the marina a couple days.
Yeah.
They passed in a charge.
That's how
Is
River
there,
City was.
what's
Yeah.
the,
Yeah, because Paul's there, Petoskey, and I know when you go there.
what's the general rule on parking in a city lot overnight in the summer? That you can just park, I can leave my car at the city lot all night, all summer, just park it in June and pick it up in September or whatever if I wanted to, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I don't think there's, there's Michigan statute, and I can tell you off the top of my head how long it sits there.
But it could be just a number of days, whatever.
Yeah.
So those are basically city lots. We'd have to have a special ordinance for that, right?
We would have to, I would have to have you guys vote, and then we would have to go to council and have them approve that fee.
Well, or
Is
is
it by
it,
having a boat instead of a car parked there?
And I guess that's, again, these are all conversations.
So
that
we can park a
need
boat in the city lot over the weekend.
Yeah.
Probably not.
RV.
you technically can't park your truck and trailer there without the boat on it. To launch your boat, you have to have a tag,
Yeah.
and so leaving your boat there then on the trailer without your truck, is that any different? I mean, at least
The
pay
tag.
a launch fee. If you want your boat to sit here in the
You're gonna
lot,
pay
you have to pay
That's
the
being the
launch
easiest
fee.
way
Part of the launch.
It
Right.
might-
Yeah, because lots, I mean.
Because you're on the
because
launch
yeah,
parking
then you
lot.
got the
I
tag.
think you wouldn't
Yeah.
have to get.
Yeah, because Mark's right, I mean, I shouldn't say Mark, but, the city police are writing up pretty
Right.
heavy right now.
And I think the youth sailing club, I guess it's just little different than
So
getting
what's
good rates at the
a,
golf course for your kid.
What's the season launch?
A season launch pass is $25 if you're a city resident, 50 if you're not.
I think it should be more if we can go.
Well, it's
Well,
okay,
yeah.
that's why I'm asking, you know.
Right,
Yeah.
maybe it's double, right?
$25 if you're a resident, it's like, hell yeah, I'll pay that, just leave my boat sitting here all summer long, right?
Well, and
There's
that's,
no parking.
Would we be worried about having too good of an incentive and having too many boats parked down there? I don't know.
Well, you gotta make it
That was-
steep enough.
Yeah,
so-
that's-
Right.
you're gonna open a
I
whole
know I don't
can
have
of
enough,
worms
yeah,
on that one.
$25 to leave your
That's
trailer.
what I'm saying, 25 bucks would be.
I would think not a lot.
Yeah.
No, does it go
I'm
to
gonna
50
do
that.
or
$100 a year.
100?
Which is what we thought Fletcher should be
What's
paying, right?
the,
That's what I thought it
what's
was.
the cost, for just storing the boats in the parking lot for the winter?
it
I know it's
is
by foot, but-
length times per
Yeah,
person
it goes-
It's square
times
footage.
the
Yeah.
It's a lot more than
$1.50.
Yeah, you're
$100.
paying.
Yeah, okay.
And we
I think
could
we
go to
paid-
that same principle here.
I think we paid or.
Yeah.
So you have,
I'm
so
close to seven.
the,
120.
technically,
We were 27, we paid.
you pay, you had solar parking lot fee.
Oh, the winter. I'm sorry.
It's when they start pulling, so September through June
Oh,
1st,
yeah.
typically, that's what
You gotta
it's supposed to
consider
be.
that.
Right.
Yes,
So I'd say if you have the
Summer
same
would
rate.
be
Yeah.
those other 4 months,
correct.
roughly.
Yeah, because I don't.
So as opposed to well, then
Would
we
be
want
half
to
the
use
fee.
the lot. That's, you know, and
That's
that's just it. If you want to be able to use the lot during the summer, you gotta make it so that they don't want to be there a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm
Make it-
saying?
I mean,
Or,
when you think
and then maybe there's a special spot where they go.
They will. I
They
mean,
go to the city
definitely.
garage.
What?
They go to the city garage.
Well, all the trailers go to the city garage and
What those do, but you know, if you're gonna leave your boat down there, if you're paying a fee and now maybe you're designated a spot or something. You know, if you're just gonna leave it rather than leaving it in your driveway.
Well,
that's
they just
open
open it
to
that
yeah.
2 weeks of the Brown Trout Festival.
Right.
well, and that's just it, you
You can't
know,
beat
we've
it.
got.
So what do we have right now? This is probably the cleanest it's been, not being this smart aleck, but I mean, you know, you probably don't think so, but it, you know, I think what is there, like only 20 left there maybe now?
There was the other day when I counted, there were 14, and of those 14, 3 were Yanglings, 2 of them were, according to Steve's email the other day, on their way out down to Noah shortly, it sounds like. Shenanigans,
right,
like, it's
yeah.
gotta be fixed.
Right, right, so there's
So a
like,
couple of those would be gone.
yeah, give or take, there's like
And
10 or 12 right now, which is
The other 10 or
a
12
vast
were-
improvement over,
The other 10 or
Past
12 are
years, I'm
all
sure.
in there for
because there's
repair.
been, with sailboats, yeah, not sailboats, but 4 sailboats
Yeah, so you have,
there.
the ones that come in, pour them on, take them, lift them up to repair, I
Mhm.
guess that's one thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, I don't
And
know,
then
right.
storage without repair. Probably should have a fee.
And what do you guys feel on that? Is that probably the same thing we do for winter, is probably length times width times $1.50?
Yeah, I mean, if you advertise, we'll park your boat for $50 a year, everyone's.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
well, and I think
It's
too,
gotta be
we
a little more
limit,
painful than.
Yeah, I think you'd have to put a cap on it.
we'll have to put a cap on how many we allow in the lot.
Yeah.
And
First
it'll be
come, first
first come,
served.
first served.
Like times with, for the winter, what is that fee? What can you do that?
Length
Say
times
for a,
width
for a
times
20 foot.
$1.50.
That's just the storage though, right?
That's.
Yeah, that's what I'm just, I don't have a
That's not
trailer,
the haul.
so I'm hauling,
Yes, that is
hook back,
It's
yeah,
20. where I got a 25-foot boat with that.
That's what I
Never
was.
seen it.
Yeah, it's like 390, 270 perhaps. I mean, I guess it would make sense to me if we just continued that cost.
And that's not for a whole summer parking your boat.
That's not-
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least they're paying. And I think when you do that, then at least you have their contact information, you have the agreements.
Yes,
Because I
that
mean,
is
that-
one of
because
the
that's the
huge
thing.
things that we're
Because
having.
you can go like, hey, Susan, your boat's still here, it needs to be gone by brown trout, or whatever event, so at least it gives you something to track rather than just a boat in the corner.
That is, that is something that we're gonna have to do, is make certain we have, and that's, me and the lawyer are working on writing agreements.
Yeah,
Because right now, every boat down there, I don't think anybody signs an agreement.
yeah, we're just there.
Yeah, I think it's gotta be enough. to be
Yeah, we gotta be some,
a little bit of a notch, yeah.
Yeah. So you were saying it'd be about 300 and then the normal rate, so.
Yes.
And since it's shorter time, maybe something less than that.
What about 200?
So if it's 6 months, it's like $50 a month.
Yeah.
So now you're at 4, so a couple hundred, yeah. That's probably fair.
You think that's fair? So length times width times $1.
Now, are any of those boats in use that are there now?
Supposedly everything, other than the Yinglings, the one Yingling is raced Tuesday or Wednesdays. And
Steve's.
Steve's is raced Wednesdays and he just parks it there because he doesn't, he dry race. I don't know, it was an hour of my life, I'll never get back. He's a really nice guy, he did some great things for the community, but he gets an hour of my life.
We understand.
So that is that.
You can go fishing with me. I know you probably all miss that.
So if that gets passed, if that goes to city council, they pass that and it gets, and all that. If someone comes down and parks their boat trailer down there, is that
The
gonna be
boat
a city?
trailers go to
city
DPW.
police?
Yep, boat trailers go to DPW. If you park your boat trailer there, we put them in DPW. If you winter store them with us.
So now you're gonna get, well, I'm only here for a month, or I'm here for 2 weeks.
Tough, it's season
So-
pass.
Yeah, all
It's a
that details.
Seasonal pass.
Yeah.
So it's either
It
you
would
want-
be a flat, like,
So
you pay this, or like, no.
If it's parked there more than a day, then it's 20 or
Then
48
the
hours.
Wayne can charge them
Yeah.
a minimal fee to store them in his future warehouse, current warehouse. There you go.
So you say after 3 days, you can't be, otherwise would,
Like a week or whatever, you know?
after that, it's gotta be a pass.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I mean, some period
A
of
little
time.
bit
Yeah,
of.
some gotta have.
So you think there's a small fee for that
On it, so they can't-
week grace period, like $20 for the,
Just to have it there.
just have it for the week or overnight, and then if it goes anything
Yeah,
beyond.
but then you gotta start collecting it. That's the only thing. Who's gonna do the collect, you know, I mean, on that
Well,
deal,
we
where
can
you
put
got.
that, they can get one of those passes.
Yeah, right.
and
Yeah,
put
the
it in
$25
their-
pass or whatever. Lunch fee, or a $5 lunch.
Yeah, this, I think there's 7.
7.
Is there any future plans with boaters in all the different configurations that we use that marina system for? Is there a future where we're gonna start collecting these people's contact information, emails, what have you, and like sending out like almost like a newsletter, like, hey, by the way, there's a new pass system, or there's, you know,
I'm hoping to
I
get to
know,
that
like,
point.
yeah.
One of the things on the one survey is if you want to stay in contact with us, get us an email address.
Yeah.
And that would be how I would probably do that. I actually write, when I do construction budgets,
Okay.
Cause we had that, when we were doing advertising, like when we went to Cobo and, you know, that was the marina was part of the convention visitor bureau at that time, but they did all the sports shows and the boating shows. And that's one of the big deals then was, of course, we didn't have the media like we do now,
Yeah.
but we had email, so.
Yeah.
And that's what they asked. And they had a bank of those. I know they did at one time when I was on this, since I was on it, so. So, yeah, they were contacting, but that again, there was somebody there coordinating.
Yeah, for sure.
Not pushing that on Shannon, but it was.
But there can, I mean, there's
Somebody-
programs out there for newsletters and such
Right.
that can be.
And I know that they advertised that and they advertised the marina.
Yeah.
You know, they did the whole
And
deal.
that's another conversation I'd like to have with Convention and Visitors Bureau. They were like paranoid. They were like jamming stuff out the door to me when I talked to them last because of COVID being so.
Yeah.
Prevalent when it was going on. So I'm hoping I can
I
circle
know.
back around and talk to them again.
Well, that's what they said. They've been like a non-entity right now.
So it's a seasonal.
Rec.
Yeah.
I have to meet with youth and rec.
Oh, okay, so it's your youth and rec night?
Yes.
Mine's in 2 weeks.
Thanks for meeting. Does a seasonal slip give you a parking spot?
Yes.
Yes.
Except
What would incentivize
So that's
people
what I'm wondering.
from parking their boat to maybe transient? I mean, would it be worthwhile to look into if you do establish a parking program where they're paying, maybe looking into a discount if they are willing to transfer?
But if they started off as the
Yeah, 'cause
parking
they're using
event,
it every weekend.
like, hey, you're doing this, well,
Yeah.
what if we got you in the?
Yeah.
I mean,
And I would,
Private services. you know?
yeah. I guess my opinion is like, if anybody's using that system, eventually, long-term, you'd want them to spend the money if it was possible. You know, I don't know, maybe someone's in a financial situation where they can't, but if we can get I guess that would be my preference, is get these people into the slips so that they're paying the fee, so it's covering the cost to operate all this, take care of everything.
And that's kind of where I'm going with this is, you know, right now, I think it's a free-for-all down there, and I think we gotta get away from the free-for-all.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the other thing is, there's 14 boats down there that need to be repaired. Do your 14, you know, those 14 boats probably don't need to hang out on the parking lot, they can hang out nowhere but not there. You know,
I guess my one thing with these boats that need to be fixed, and they've been sitting there now a month overdue. I mean, is there any, it's me just not knowing, but is there any way to move them to another city location, like the garage, so like that, be like, okay, that's fine, like, but they can't be down here,
Well,
and bring them over there, and this is how much it's gonna cost us to do that, and you're gonna pay this much money to have it over there, and you can work on it all you want. It's not, you know, almost like creating like a pseudo boatyard.
let's circle back to that.
Okay.
Yeah, because types of equipment and stuff, I mean, as far as ordering everything now, I mean, probably that's not good to go there.
Not right at the moment, just
Yeah.
because of, right now,
Trying to order anything.
yeah, right now, we can't get half the parts we need for
Fair
anything, so I think let's look at that next year.
Yeah.
some, A little bit. Do we have any public that wants to comment? Any additional staff that wants to comment? Seeing none, we need to move into closed session.
This conference will now be recorded.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second. This is the thing.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, next meeting date, let's discuss that super quick.
Oh, yeah.